Hello YouTube, the Eye of Stone here. We're moving right along with the walkthrough of Thief the Metal Age. The next mission is Blackmail. Played on the expert difficulty level. We're going to jump right in. Here we go. This level begins with this series of vignettes that you have to do in the outbuildings of the Truart estate. So we're gonna go through these. There's guards everywhere. City watch, rather. Good use of the taxpayers' money. Guard the sheriff's person. Each one of these houses has an amount of loot and a couple resources to collect, and a civvy, either asleep or awake, that you have to avoid. It's a complimentary headache. And of course it's locked, so you have to pick it. I guess you could say all the fundamental elements of Thief gameplay are here for you to practice in these initial outbuildings. It's a warm-up. And it's not even that Blackmail is a doozy of a Thief level. This is more like a classic Thief level. I mean, there's this plot element of blackmailing the sheriff, but in a lot of respects, I think this level has a lot in common with Lord Bafford's Manor. If you close that window there, the Watcher can't see you get the golden candlestick. Well worth your while to close that window. But I really think that this mission has a lot in common with Lord Bafford's Manor. It's a heavily defended rich person's mansion, and you're there at night to take the loot. It's fundamental elements of Thief gameplay. It's true of these outbuildings, but it's true of the level proper, that what makes Thief worth playing and worth replaying, it's all kind of on display here.
Huh?
Now, it really isn't necessary to knock this guy out.
I'm starting to see things. I'd better get some rest.
He makes a lot of...
Who's that?
Dare I to interrupt? He makes a lot of noise, but...
I guess it was
I
nothing.
don't think he's actually going to get
Who made that
pursued.
noise?
And I could have taken that slower, but... he's kind of stuck. Now, you could take a chance
Nothing there.
out through there, but that's a bit risky. You notice I left the flares. I don't like flares.
Come, what's that?
I don't really ever use flares seriously. It's just one more thing to cycle through on my inventory. Now, there are guards on the other side of this wall. To get past them in a low-profile fashion, the best thing to do is just to turn out the lights, which is what we're going to do right now. There's a switch over there with the gauges. Can you see it? We have to wait for the guard to start the other side of his circuit, which he's about to do. You just walk slowly across the stones. You don't have to creep, just go slow. Throw that switch. If you ask me, it is not an outrageous idea
Over that way.
Probably worth investigating
to
that.
clamber up here
Stupid. It's
and
probably just some rookie.
drop a moss arrow. Yes, it's the use of a moss arrow, and yes, there's a lot of loud surfaces in this level, but this way, nobody gets knocked out, nobody gets ticked off. I'm about to get ticked off. There's a pagan agent in here who tries to step up on you when you wake him up.
Strange breaths of air.
Someone who talks like that is not going to step up on me. If it's going to happen, well, you all just saw what... If that's going to happen, you all saw what I'm going to make happen. School of Hard Knocks. Now, we're sort of going around the side of the level, as it were. You need to watch out on the right-hand side here. There's we go through this tunnel, and then there's this secret area.
I have a bad feeling about this.
It's this graveyard area. You notice one of the graves was open. Don't go down there. You can get stuck in that open grave, and you're looking at a total level restart at that point. It's happened to me. Dive into the water. Now, you're going to get right out once you clear that tunnel and walk. Hug the shadows. And we want the key this guard on
Anyone there?
roaming patrol has. Not necessary to knock him out. It's the balcony key. We open this door now. There are guards. City watch. They're not guards so much as cops. They're everywhere in this level, so we are absolutely not in a rush. We'll take it nice and slow. Everything's gonna be beautiful. There's all these roaming patrol circuits. You have to pay attention not just to what's ahead of you, but is your six clear?
Dark all the time.
And of course he noticed that the torch was out. So this is a high risk situation. Now, this sort of a barracks room in here. It's obviously where guards sleep, where the city watch sleep, but it's kind of a good area to base yourself out of initially. It's kind of like a good spider lair. There's a bunch of roamers down here. This is a relatively safe place to just catch your breath. Because if you get freaked out and you get tense, you're done. Either you're going to mess up and get caught, or you're just going to kill everybody. There's also stuff in here, as you can see. There's a mine.
Thought I heard something.
There's all these chests to pick. Now, again, you just don't ever freak out. He's awake, but he sure as heck can't see us. Always good to have healing potions. Always good to bump up your loot count. And once again, it is not obvious to me at this point why it's necessary to knock that guard out. It might become necessary if things go wrong out here, but at the moment, he can just stand there.
Let's see what that was.
It Could have gone better. I underestimated, how much it would take to set that marble off. So, there's our first armed knockout. You notice I still didn't have to knock out that other guy who's standing watching the wall. I'll explain the use of the metal gear there in a second. Now, let's try this again. It doesn't hurt to have thinned the ranks a bit. Stick to the rug. Now you have to learn to jump from one rug to the next down here. It's the only way you're going to be able to get anywhere with anything like the speed you need to. Okay, now did you see that? You need to insert those gears into those doohickeys by the doors. Those doors will not open otherwise. Some of the mechanist metal doors can be opened by mines, by detonating landmines with fire arrows. Some of them can, some of them can't. I can't remember what the deal is with the doors and the metal doors in this level. Obviously, that's not how we want to play Thief. Every little bit helps. Put it back the way we found it. We'll get in there later. We're going to end up in there anyway. So again, we're not here. This guy's just doing his thing. We're not rushing. We're not here. We're not going to knock him out. We are going to make a perfect jump. Okay. Now, here, this one would have been more difficult, so I'm actually going to creep across this one.
Guard duty. That's what I know. Sheriff's just as bad as those bloody noodles. Except he doesn't even know how to kick back and take it easy.
I'm going to creep across this one too. This is obviously where some of the servants sleep. Or perhaps the guards, but I think the guards sleep in the other room where we had that guy standing up who didn't see us. If you don't take the path of least resistance, if you don't knock everybody out, then these levels are not short plays. You know, I'm definitely not Ramboing this level.
again? Hello? Okay.
Well, that was just a silly mistake. There's no commentary. It was just a silly mistake. Now there's loot in that kitchen, but there's servants as well. This arboretum area. Again, you never know when you're going to come across resources waiting to be collected. I'm a big fan of closing doors when I'm done with a room. It helps maintain the realism. You can't expect all the doors to be open in these guards not to get suspicious. And sometimes in Thief 2 they do. They almost always do in Thief 3. In Thief Deadly Shadows. There's loot in there, so we're going to knock out the 2 servants. We have to time it carefully. Can't really get to the loot, which is in the sink where the woman is. Can't really get to that unless you knock the 2 of them out. But there's guards everywhere. Timing has to be perfect. We want this guy to have distance. There's an archer in the dining room on the other side of the room we're looking into here. And there's another guy on roaming patrol who will be coming up close. There's also a guy in the basement.
Can you believe this mess?
There's a strange man over here. A body! Help! Help!
I'm pretty sure we alerted the guy in the basement. Let's just go see. Yep, there he is.
Stupid.
Just one move, Tapper, and you're mine.
Alright, so he's gonna come upstairs and look for us. At least for a while. Fortunately, the archer isn't looking for us as well. There's also loot in this dining room area, so
I thought this would be a
we are
cushier
gonna
job than on private guard duty.
take her out.
Either this is the easy way or the hard way.
And I didn't pay enough attention to my own program here. It's that other guy who was finishing his circuit of the roaming patrol, so now I have 2 guards who really want to find me, and I don't have a key, so we're going to have to do this the stupid way. It's not the way to do it. Do not play like that. But we need distance from those 2 guards.
Who's making those?
This is 2, this is 3. There's 3 plates. There. Okay, let's go back to Funland. They're still gonna be ticked off and looking for me. I can already tell you right now, they're still looking for me. And it's exactly at times like this, when you go back to try to clean things up, that you just walk right into them. See? If I go down that hall, they're gonna catch sight of me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hang back here until they resume their normal circuits. I might be able to see him coming down the hall. But really, the safe way to do this is to hole up in here. I want to find a spot where I can hear and see them coming. And, here we go. You can hear him. He's coming down the hall. Things are maybe beginning to settle down a bit. Maybe. Hopefully. With luck. Okay. Good to go. Good to go. Things are looking a lot more copacetic now. Beautiful. Nasty little detour, but now we're back in business. Okay. We're gonna go back to the scene of the disaster.
Who's there? Get out here where I can see you.
Okay. Mr. Guard at the bottom of the stairs
Coward!
has
Face me like a man!
gotten on my nerves. Face that like a man. Going down. Going down. Thank you. Now, there's a lot of real estate down here. There's a lot of territory to cover. There's a couple things worth doing. Do you see this? We're going to deal with this real soon here. I'm going to show you exactly what that is. It's a guard who has a pretty long circuit down here. It's annoying because, as you can see, there really is not decent cover in that alcove. There isn't decent shadow. If he walks past you, he's probably going to see you. It doesn't sit well with me that we have two unconscious servants lying on the floor in the kitchen, but we have to keep moving. Just, you know, put up with this slower way of doing things just to really get as much loot and resources out as the levels we can. I mean, so you put out the fire in the fireplace, you get the arrow, and then you flip that switch up at the top and it brings you down here into this torture chamber area. Loot. There's a fire arrow. Remember that alcove I showed you a few seconds ago in the other part of the basement?
What's there? Guess all's quiet.
Do not push this button. Of course you know I'm going to. Hi there. Okay. Double trouble. Let's see about being on our merry way, but I think Mr. Fearless up here is going to complicate that.
Thought I saw something.
Yep. He's gonna be on my nerves. I'm thinking there's something else we need to get out of that spider pit. I also... There is a gas mine on that other side of the hall where we were a second ago. And that can come in handy on the upper floors of the mansion, so that's why I'm dancing back and forth with this guard down here, is because I want the gas mine.
I saw something. I need to get some sleep.
You'll be getting sleep. Ring. I think I missed something down here. Including the spider. Well, I've got to take that thing out, but we're just gonna have to... Oh, it doesn't realize I'm here. Oh. Ah, another gas mine. These are, really handy upstairs. Okay, so we go down here. If you would only look at the last part of this level tactically, then putting up with all this delay to acquire weapons, essentially. See, in here, there's this other gas mine, so now I got two of them. Okay, you come out through here, and this is going to take you under the front porch and out into another part of the grounds. Just gonna come out by the bushes. You have to be careful to stay under cover because it's very exposed here. There are some good shadows, but there's guards everywhere.
Guess it's nothing now.
Your cover is really not that good out here. They're not gonna see anything. But it's really not necessary to bother her either. Alright, finally found a spot to hide in. There. Alright, now do you see that hammer on the left side up on the wall there? The hammer shaped hole in the wall. What you want to do do that in a minute. Let's show you how this all connects. How this all fits together. You remember that room I told you about earlier? And I said we would get there. We're about to do that. See, I knew I had the answer to that. You use the estate key. At my advanced age, it takes a little time. I always thought this hallway was kind of neat looking. It doesn't really serve much purpose, but other than to add ambiance. I think that's St. Mark and St. Andrew. Alright, I was talking about the hammer-shaped indentation in the wall. Now, obviously you can hear the rattling, and you all already know what that means. You launch an arrow right into that hammer on the wall, and you see what's happening to the big metal hammer. It just moved. And you see I'm drawing a sword. Now, we've got loud stone for that ladder. These are also very handy. Invisibility potions. A more proper burial for the haunt. And the gold skull for me. Yay. Now, again, the areas of this level come together in interesting ways. Smash this open, and we go through here. Here's the spider den. So yeah, moving right along. Gonna go back out the way we came. The estate key is what you need to open that door the civilized way. Now, on to the second floor. Now we're really beginning to get somewhere in this level.
Hey! Did you try any of that food left over from the night's dinner party?
Are you kidding? Not even rats would touch that garbage.
Well, I liked it. And I'm gonna go down to the kitchen and get me some more of it.
We'll have fun, Taffer. I'm gonna go look for old Benny. I bet he's getting drunk in the game room again. Oh, don't trip over your own feet in the dark again. This time, try turning on the lights.
I'll see if I can find the switch. And tell Benny I'll save him some tasty morsels in the kitchen.
So we're just gonna let him go on through. Even turning the lights
What was
on
that?
really doesn't cause me any trouble.
Okay, calm
I
down.
want the gear he had. There is loot out there. Not much, but some.
Something there. Probably just the wind.
Rooms on the second floor of the mansion are interesting. There's loot, there's tools, there's secrets. This bookshelf.
Who's
Still
there?
have to time things carefully.
Maybe it was rats. Rats would be a bit of meat now and then.
Not again.
I can take it or leave it as to whether or not I actually knocked her out, but you've got to get that, you've got to get that torch out, or you won't be able to get past this guard station. As it is, you sort of have to really rush it. And get past him on a dive, because if you try to creep past him, he'll see you. And once again, there's loot in here. So there's a builder's, there's a child of Karas in there. See, the small builder's children are tricky because up to a point, you can sort of do your thing around them while they're doing their thing. And you can, under certain circumstances, get away with murder, but on the other hand, if you spook them, you potentially got a problem on your hands, because they're just a big old box of noise. So we use the balcony key that we have 2 copies of to go around that room, rather than through it at first. We are eventually going to go through it, but let's build our position up. We'll go through that room when we're ready to. Not because we have to. Can't have too many moss arrows. Can't have too many invisibility potions.
I can't believe that some copper went and spilt mead all over that rug.
Benny, you spilled the mead on the rug. Anyway, someone is on their way up to clean it up already.
But you don't understand. These coppers have no respect for such beautiful things.
Benny, I think you've had too much to drink. Aren't you supposed to be on duty?
So, what if I am? Anyways, I work better when I'm drunk. It makes me fearless. If I see a bad guy, I'll just point my slug at him and say, "Hey, bad guy, you're not supposed to be here. Go home or I'll stick you with my sword till you go, ouch, I'm dead." sweetie. Ain't no one gonna be messing with old Benny.
Whatever, Benny. I think you should go sleep it off. No more mead for you.
I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
Except this.
Hey!
I don't like this. I surrender. I see him. Help, over here.
Come here, sweetie. Well, I guess I kind of wrecked the party. It's like I always say, you really have to floss the loot out of every corner, or you'll miss it. So that guard on roaming patrol is going to be back. And in order to avoid yet more knockouts, we're just going to hang tight. Slip between their patrols.
Thought this be a cushier job on private guard duty. That's what I know. Sheriff's just as bad as those bloody.
Honestly, though, a big part of Thief's appeal for me is the waiting. Because, I mean, if you were actually doing this, I imagine it would be mostly waiting until absolutely the right moment. The waiting aspect of it is you don't dictate every attribute of the situation.
That time we prayed at those cesspools of filthy
There's
tempers. Every one of them could buy or sell.
there's things going on that you can't just kill to solve the problem, and you also can't speed up time to your own specifications. One of the things that's most satisfying about Thief is that it gives you parameters that you have to obey. Being skilled at it actually means that you're able to coordinate the variables. So now that she's leaving, we should have time enough to do what we need to do. We need to get a gear out of the bottom of the swimming pool. But first we're gonna go in here. Alright, now there's a watcher and a sentry. But we can solve that problem without any violence whatsoever. Just gotta go over there. Problem solved. Whole big nest of resources, of arrows. is worth something. Now watch this. See? Now we have 3 gas mines. I'm gonna thin the ranks a bit. Security system's already been disabled. Don't forget the loot. We needed the silver gear. And we need that vase. Function obvious. Okay, now getting down to the wire. 3rd floor. A lot happens very quickly.
Hurry! Sound the alarm! Seal off the area!
Why? What happened?
Sheriff Truart has been killed! The killer must still be in the building!
What? The sheriff's been murdered? How?
I don't know! Sound the alarms! Get help! There's a murderer loose!
Truart's been murdered! Find the killer!
Damn. Someone beat me to the sheriff. I better keep a low profile or else I'll be pinned as the killer.
Hear that?
See that?
Well, the loot was worth it anyway.
I heard a commotion coming from Truart's room, but on my way to check it out, it stopped. When I got to the room, I swear I saw a dark shape running off. I should have taken a shot at him. That's when we saw the boss had been killed.
Did you get a look at the killer's face?
No, it was too fast. It was standing right over his body, and I must have spooked it. When it saw me, it flew right out the doors and off the balcony. I never seen anything move like that. It couldn't have been human.
Don't tell me. You think a monster killed the sheriff? All right, where are you? Rest in peace. I'll find out who did this. I'll turn you up and watch over Tavers. Something's up. Things aren't. Spotted something.
Quiet.
Way to the estate, then up. We have
A corpse.
We've got a code 99!
Someone will swing.
He's armed! Somebody get him!
For the purposes of this walkthrough, you would be well challenged to take care of this 3rd floor without thinning these ranks up here a bit. But in the interest of time, we're just going to incapacitate, what, 3, 7, 8, something like that number of people. Something like that. Beautiful. Onward and upward.
probably something in this room that will tell me who killed Truart.
Ah, this is what I'm looking for.
Okay, now to get out. He got all messed up. I'll go up on the roof. Go across the roof. This is what we want. Just loot in here. No amount of rush that we might be in is worth sacrificing the loot count.
Thought I saw
Is that you?
Playing it relatively safe by exiting the level this way.
Hey, pal. If you're gonna make that much noise, why don't you just come on out?
Let's just make a break for it. Time has come for us to go.
Something moved there. Stop! In the name of the law!
I will not stop. So with that, we are just about free and clear of Blackmail. Next up, we're going to do Tracing the Courier, and after that, Trail of Blood. We'll do goals and stats in just a second here. See y'all next time.